titan of British stage and screen, actor Ernest Thesiger is buried here in Brompton Cemetery, and he's probably best known for his role in 1935's Bride of Frankenstein, where he plays Dr. Septimus Pretorius, a role in itself which is important to the queer community. Thesiger's orientation is probably the best recorded in the archives of all the people buried here, and it's important to understand why. Thesiger came from a world of class and power. His familiar occupation tended to stick to the army, law and diplomatic service. His background afforded him some protection to be flamboyantly himself. It'd also be difficult to see how a middle or lower class man would have fared were he to walk down the street wearing pearls and fingernails painted, as our Ernest did. Thesiger was openly bisexual, perhaps gay, we can't be sure, in a time where such things weren't tolerated or openly advertised. He married Janette, the sister of his fellow friend and student at the Slade School of Fine Art, William Rankin. Whether this was for genuine love or to maintain the illusion of heterosexuality, poor William was so heartbroken that he shaved his head in protest when he found out about the news.
To a new world of gods and monsters.
In his most famous role as mentor to Dr. Frankenstein, a role he played basically as a Campbell Queen, which is essentially how he was off screen as well. He was acting alongside Colin Clive, who was alleged to be bisexual. It's clear Thesiger saw Pretorius and was in love with Dr. Frankenstein. For example, when Frankenstein's wife walks in, his nostrils dilate and he turns away. This is a good example of queer visibility at a time when such things were often kept to the shadows. There are many stories of how he would openly sit in a pub in Chelsea doing cross-stitch. Ruffians would come up to him and be openly homophobic and he'd go, "Yes, I'm the stitching bitch of Chelsea, now buzz off." And obviously the immortal line where he arrived at a party and openly pronounced, "Anyone for a spot of buggery?" He was a man who was not afraid to be himself, and he's buried just off the main stretch here in Brompton Cemetery.